Welcome to Real People, Real Voices. I'm your host, James Jackson.
And I'm Pastor Wayne Moore.
Always a pleasure to host with you.
Good to be with you, my friend. Good to be with you. Let's talk about our sponsors.
Lee Kossel and Crawley. If you need help, they can help you.
And you can, Fervent Care Christian Academy. If you need your child in a safe place of learning, this is the place to be. Give them the number, if you would.
317-898-2751. Again, that's 317-898-2751. Christian Clean, Caring, and Convenient Care.
Thank you so much. Tell us what's happening, man.
Oh, we're back, and we're on Friday nights at 9:30 and Sundays in the PM at 5:30.
Yeah.
Watch us, and thank you for watching us today. And you can go to WHMB TV 40 on YouTube.
Yeah, and sometimes we never tell our audience how much we love them and thank them for watching.
Thank you.
Everywhere I go, people, recognize me from this particular show. And I try to represent well, and I hope you do as well. I know you do.
Thank you.
We want people to be involved with what we're doing and give information that we can give to the community, and that's what this is all about. This is your show, it's not ours.
Yeah, and we'd love to hear from you with regard to what you might like to hear about. So go to Facebook, and you can leave us a message on Facebook, and we'll get that, and we'll talk to our executive producer, Faith.
And she'll get it done for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
We've got a great show lined up. You might remember we talked about some students who are going to go on a college tour.
Yeah, we got it. We have her back.
Ivy League colleges.
Have Layla's back with us today, and Miss Ivy League is back with us today, and she started with one student, now she's got 13 students getting ready to do this tour.
Yeah.
We need about another 15 more to get it done, so we're going to talk about it in a minute.
Champion Project.
Yes, the Champion Project.
So we'll be back in just a moment to talk more about it. Welcome back to Real People, Real Voices, and we are joined by Miss Layla, Champion.
Yeah.
Hi.
The Champion Project.
Yes.
So give us an update. You were here just a few months ago telling us about this wonderful project that you're working on, the Champion Project.
And we wanted to bring you back.
Yeah.
We wanted to bring you back to see what your progress was and what you're doing, because this was very, very unique for a young lady to take on this type of monumental task. And so tell us what's happening with that.
Okay, so since the first show, I contacted Fox 59 and RTV6, and they both covered the story.
Okay.
And I've also been going to local high schools.
Now, Layla, I want you to be able to be truthful with me. They covered the story because we initially covered the story. Is that what you're telling us?
Sure.
Okay, all right.
And then I went to local high schools, and people have been reaching out saying, oh, can you come talk to our students about this opportunity? So I started off with 1, 2, and then I had 2, and now I have 13.
Wow.
And I have a couple speaker engagements later this
Oh,
week.
you speak. Oh, so we've turned you into
a public speaker.
Yeah. Okay. I just wondered. We've done. Real People, Real Voices can do a lot for your career. And now she came here just a little high school girl. Now she's a public speaker.
Doing a great job.
Doing a great
Thank
job.
you.
And got a different hairdo too. Just got a puff up. That's back in the 70s. Got Afro puff. Yeah, you got a little culture to it.
It's applicable to the mission, the Minority Ivy League College Tour.
Yes.
That's the mission.
Yeah.
So you need some more.
How many more you need to get it done?
17.
17. How many you have on the line hook? Got any on the hook?
Like 4.
You got 4? So if you get, that will be 17 total if you can get those 4.
Yes.
Has any businesses sponsored anybody? Any major businesses try to help you?
Churches are saying, we'll sponsor a kid.
Really?
And how much is that?
$650. $650.
$650
For one kid?
Yes.
For one kid.
Churches are doing it, huh? James, and I want to say this, they always say the church ain't doing nothing. I hear that said by a lot of people, even elected officials, the church ain't doing nothing. Now look at the church sending young kids.
Well, I would ask you, of the 4 that you say, as Dr. Moore said, you got on the hook, is it the $650?
Yes.
That's the issue?
It's the cost.
The cost of it.
So I'll sponsor one, the church, Fervent Prayer Church.
Okay.
So
Thank
that's
you.
3 left.
I'll see if I'll see. I can't talk from. I'll see if the Baptist Ministers Alliance will sponsor one.
Or the concerned clergy.
Or the concern. I'll talk to Dr. Green.
Thank you.
I'll just talk to them and we'll see what we can do to help you to get those kids on that hook.
But one confirmed, I mean, the Fervent Prayer Church will do one of those.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
We'll work
so,
on that.
so I think people need to know, because we're talking about it, but people need to know what this is all about.
Okay. So the Champion Project is hosting its first Minority Ivy League college tour.
Ivy League. Be specific about that.
So we'll be visiting Harvard University, Yale University, Columbia University, Princeton University, and University of Pennsylvania. And each tour will be led by a Black or Latino student who's on the campus who can tell them about their experience and how they got in and things like that, and just give them advice about applying. Then after the tour, I'll just stay along with the students, keep up with them, see what courses they're taking now, and help them prepare for the test, and see if they actually apply, and they can let me know if they got in.
And the $650 includes what?
Includes the bus, the hotel,
And the food.
breakfast, and like their T-shirts and things like that.
That's
and
a lot.
the cost of the tours too.
Yeah.
That's phenomenal. $650.
Yes.
And of course, there's chaperones.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It's not about. You can't let these young kids go by themselves. I mean, they know more about life than we did at that age. So we got to have a chaperone, somebody to watch them.
So Layla, if you would, make the appeal to,
Yeah.
in camera 2 there, if you would, and ask people to help out.
Hi, my name is Leela Champion. I'm the founder of the Champion Project, and I am calling on local businesses and people in the community to sponsor a kid so they can have the same growth experience that I had when I had the opportunity to broaden my horizons and study at Harvard University this summer.
Give us a telephone, something and a number, lady.
If you're interested in sponsoring a child, please visit www.champion-project.com.
Say it again, Layla.
www.champion-project.com.
Say it in your public speaking voice this time.
www.champion-project.com.
Thank you.
Thank you, Layla.
And I want to encourage you, those of you who are pastors and decision makers. Of course, Dr. Moore and I, we support youth.
Yes.
And we have over the last several years. And even on this show, we're making a commitment to help students who want to be a part of it. But the only encumbrance is $650.
Right.
We want to ask you, pastor, church leader, business leader,
Sorority,
sororities, or elected officials,
fraternities.
please contact Layla Champion, and the information is going to be on the screen. Contact them, or if you are a person who has the financial wherewithal to get this done, to be a blessing to these young people.
And you know what? Tanya Bell, I believe, is in charge of the
Indiana Black Expo.
Indiana Black Expo. And they do have some educational things going. If she's listening, I wish that she would contact this young lady and sponsor at least 4 or 5 kids. Black Expo can do that and make sure that they can go on this Ivy League tour. Tanya Bell is Pastor Wayne Moore. I think you need to look into that and get it done for us. Help this young lady send other young people to Ivy League schools in March.
So a lot of people don't know what precipitated this idea. How did it come about?
So last summer, well, actually in June, I was on Harvard's campus for 7 weeks, and around the 6th week, I was like, okay, I've been everywhere around here, and I don't see that many people that look like me. And I had a few friends, and we were talking about how kids from our high schools usually don't apply, or they think they can't get in. However, we got into these summer programs, and it wasn't that hard to get in. So it made me think, I want to show other kids that schools like this is possible, and not to believe everything you Google. If you Google how to get into Harvard, you see you need a perfect SAT score. However, there's students there who didn't have a perfect SAT score or a perfect GPA, but it has a holistic application process. So I'm trying to want people to know about that.
So you can get in.
So you can get in.
Yes,
You plan to go to Harvard.
that's my #1 school.
That's your #1 school.
your number one
You're gonna-
school?
I believe you're going to do it too.
I believe you're going to do it too.
They know about this, obviously, or do they?
I put it on my applications. It was in the beginning of the process, but they don't know about all the work I've had since then. So I'm writing a letter to them about
That's
it.
good. Do that.
Yeah, they need to know that you got 14 students right now, perhaps 15, and quite possibly 40 who are going to be coming to their college campus, not only theirs, but some others. And I'm praying and hoping that maybe they'll give you a scholarship.
Me too.
Yeah, I know your mom is too, and your dad, and everybody else. You know, that's they want you to get that money because, I mean, that's almost another job and a half for them to make sure you get too hard.
We're very proud of you.
Yeah, we are. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
And I hope you continue to do what you're doing, and keep the Lord in front of you, because He can take you places you've never been before.
Yeah.
And always pray in anything you do, and He'll be with you all the way. I mean, I'm very proud of you, and don't forget me when I get old.
Oh.
Remember we had you on this show, and when I'm in a nursing home somewhere, just come by
Okay.
and holler at me and say, thank you, Pastor Moore, for letting me be on the show. You'll be a lawyer, a doctor, or something. We appreciate that.
Okay.
All right, and don't forget, you can be a 650 champion by contacting the information that's on the screen.
Yeah, be a 650 champion.
And sponsor a young person to go on that college tour, a tour they'll never forget.
Right.
You'll never forget that tour. And it'll be all because of your support. Thank you very much. We have much more to come, and thank you. You've been a great guest. We'll be back after this. Welcome back to Real People, Real Voices. We are glad that you have joined us, and we're joined by Nate Turner,
Yes.
who is a world-class parent empowerment coach.
Global.
You gotta say it like you believe it.
Welcome back.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome back.
Thanks for having me.
And since last you were here, the Superman book, and your son, we were talking about the different things that were happening with him. And off air, we were talking about a lot of those principles that you stand on and that you promote have worked with your own family.
Yes.
So kind of share with us how that's going.
So what we decided to do is to stop talking about our son and share ways that other families could do the very same thing for their children. So the last, I don't know, it's certainly the last 3+ years, most of our time and attention has been spent on putting together a process that other families could use to do the same thing for their children.
Absolutely.
Or to do, actually, we say to do equal or better than we've done.
And that's going to be good because you all have done well.
Yeah.
So when we talk about the backwards design,
Yep.
and you all are coaching parents to do that with their children,
Yes, sir.
what is that?
So backward design means very much like you are with your GPS. You want to take a trip to some place you've never been before. Most people plug in the name of the location, and your GPS says, right, head out to 146th Street, turn left at, Michigan Road or whatever. And so what your GPS does, it backward designs where you are now to where you want to go. And so we do the same thing with families. You tell me what it is what your hopes and your dreams are for your children, and then we work with the process to do that. So in our case, our son wanted to earn a PhD in engineering, which meant that to earn a PhD in engineering, you need to be able to do math and science at a high level, which means that you need to be able to score well on your standardized test to get to a college that can prepare you for that. So starting as soon as you possibly can, we're working on ways to show parents how to make sure children can read at high levels and do math and science at high levels.
And so parents that are watching, how can they access your services?
Well, so interesting enough, we decided to do our own workshops. We've been sort of campaigning across the city to try to get people to participate with us and partner with us, and didn't get the kind of movement that we thought we should, so we said we'll just do it on our own. So beginning this month, February 26th, we're going to host our first workshop ever called the Extraordinary College Planning Workshop, and we're going to do 5 to 6 workshops thereafter every Saturday, possibly a Tuesday and Thursday during the week, and then once or twice on a Saturday to show parents how to do it. And the workshops are free.
Free.
That's great. Free.
Yep.
That's really good.
And then, of course, you can go to the website and to Raise Your Superman website and take a look. And there'll be a link later this week that'll give them more information about the workshops and how to register for them.
So we want to make sure that you take advantage of that for your children. I want to ask you, Nate, with regard to Superman. Some of our viewers may not be aware of what that means.
Yeah, so I call my son Soup because when he was about 2.5 and we were teaching him to read, one of the things he learned to read, first, I think you've heard me mention that, was I wrote him letters. But then we also understood that children have an affinity to comic books, so he would read comic books. And one of the comic books he would read that you can imagine was Superman. And he would mispronounce the R and say super. And rather than make fun of a young man who was 2.5 to 3 who was learning to read, I said, don't worry about it, you're my Superman too. And so we just stuck. And so I've been calling him Super, or Soup for short, since he was 2.5.
Now he's doing his PhD
Now
work.
he's doing his PhD.
Now he is
and he's
Superman.
still,
He's Superman.
and he's still my Superman. Yeah.
And I can remember you said that growing up, you didn't talk to him as a kid.
No, sir. I always spoke to him as if I'm speaking to you, and that's never changed, and it would never change. The goal was to speak to him in the tense that I wanted him to communicate with me in the future. So if I want him to speak like a man, why would I speak to him as if he was a child? So that's what we've always done.
And you say this is the fourth industrial revolution.
This is the fourth. So the first one was during the period of slavery. The second one was one we typically think of as the first, was when automation. The third was when the introduction of computers, and now we're in the fourth industrial revolution.
Wow.
Where we now have AI, which is changing the game for everything, which is why it's so imperative that families understand right now that we're kind of running out of time, particularly in certain communities. Black, brown, and poor people are running out of time. The world is changing vastly, and we're not really paying attention to it.
You use the acronym AI. Tell them what that is.
Artificial intelligence,
That's what they need to hear.
Yes, because every day we all participate in our own demise without thinking about it. I tell people all the time, say, hey, you say you care a lot about human beings. Well, let me ask you a question. When you go to Target or any store, I don't have to be Target, and if you go at 5 o'clock or 5:15 and it's crowded on a weekday, which line do you choose? Do you choose a line where there's a person working who could help you, or do you choose the self-checkout? And so most of us choose the self-checkout without understanding that by choosing the self-checkout, there's some young person who could do math and science real well, like my son, who's written an algorithm to determine how many bags of groceries you'll bag on your own, how long you'll stand in line on your own, et cetera. And next week when you come back, there are no longer 2 cashiers. There's only one.
Right.
Because you and I made a decision that we don't value the
That
person's
person.
humanity. What we valued was our expediency. And the flip side of that also is that as an investor, when you say, man, my 401k is not performing the way I want to, what's going on? Well, there's only so many ways that companies increase your shareholder value, right? They create a new product or service, they can acquire another business, or they can lay off people.
Or put it in the stock market. Let it work for you.
Right. So in order to do that, right, the quickest way to raise shareholder value oftentimes is to reduce your labor. And so when you do that, then who are the people who typically are out of jobs? Well, poor, black, and brown people, kids who can't do math and science at the highest level. So the goal is to help families to be able to participate in this fourth industrial revolution by making sure more kids can do math and science and read and write and critically think at the highest level as soon as possible.
And put cursive writing back in the school system.
You can do that, it helps.
Let me ask you, we have just a couple of minutes left, because you talked about AI, or artificial intelligence, which comes to full maturity in 2020. So how can we catch up being so far behind?
Well, it depends. So 2020 is, what is this year, 2019? Yeah, 1 year. Well, we've been using artificial intelligence for a long time, right? We've been having cars that are practically driving themselves and parking themselves for some time now. How do you get a child to be able to do math and science? Or to participate in artificial intelligence to get kids to be able to do math and science at a higher level. How do you do that? Well, there are tools that are available. So one of the things we tell families, I apologize for the break. One of the things we tell families is for example, there's a thing called the Khan Academy. And so many parents don't know if their kids can do math well, but you could use a Khan Academy. It's a free tool. You can find out how well your children are doing in math. And you don't have to wait till the school says you can go to the 3rd grade. Your child can use the Khan Academy and suddenly find themselves doing math at a 8th or 9th grade level. My goddaughter, who's a 4th grader, is doing high school geometry.
Khan Academy, is that online?
It's online, yes. I don't know, you have tens of millions of people who utilize the site, but yeah, that's one thing. Most kids in this area take a test called the NWEA, Northwest Educational Assessment, and that assessment will also tell you where your child's on track, what college or university they would be on track for, and it gives you a reading and a math score, and so you can use those also as tools to help sort of mitigate falling further behind in the fourth industrial revolution.
Well, thank you very much. You've been a great guest. Certainly not enough time.
No problem.
Appreciate you.
My pleasure.
Good to see you again, my
Thank you,
friend.
sir.
Stay with us. We have the rundown. We'll be back after this. Welcome back to Real People, Real Voices. I'm your host, James Jackson.
I'm your co-host, Pastor Wayne Moore.
And I'm your executive producer, Faith McKinney.
I want to thank our sponsors, Lee Castle and Crowley. If you need some help, they can help you.
They can do that. And wonderful daycare that Fervent Prayer has at Fervent Prayer Christian Academy. Hope that you'll give them a call.
Yes.
Let them know that you're interested in enrolling your child in that system.
And the information is there on your screen.
It sure is.
317-898-2751. Some great guests there. And I want to start with Nate Turner and the information that he just gave us. Since last he was here with us, his son is in a PhD program.
He had 6 PhDs.
Offers.
Yeah, after undergrad.
Yeah.
So that's
Right.
phenomenal.
That is phenomenal. Working that system, and I think it's good that he taught it and talked about it. And of course, we see it with his son.
You know, and I like what he said. I quit talking about my son so much and started helping other families. That was phenomenal because we do that when our children
Yes, we do.
are successful and we become proud of them. And we have tendency to wear other people out with the success of our children. But I thought that he needed to be commended for that, to where he realized that he had something he could offer other families.
Absolutely. Now that I'm a grandmother, I said, hey, I need to get on that
Congratulations.
1,000-day plan. Thank
Yeah.
you.
You're a grandmother now.
I am.
That's phenomenal. You don't look like a grandmother.
No, I'm a young 29-year-old grandmother.
This is
This is a Christian family.
Yeah, Christian TV.
35.
Yeah, and then we had Layla.
Layla
champion
Champion.
The champion program. So we want to make sure that you get that information.
Become a 650 champion.
Champion, yeah. Make
Sponsor
it happen.
you.
Make it happen.
Man.
Absolutely.
See that, and what Nate talked about, that KAHN Academy, KAHN Academy.com.
About
Free.
mathematics. Free.
Math, and there's a lot of other stuff on there too. So God bless you. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.